What's good, y'all? It's your boy Jay, back at it again. Today we got High Schoolers Can't Read Basic Level U.S. Schools in Crisis by S-Schooled English Teachers. Y'all know what the deal is, man. Follow me on both Jays here, Jays there. Get tapped on my socials. And if I have any more yapping, we gonna get right into it.
Students cannot read at grade level. As a music teacher, I didn't really think I had a whole lot to add to this conversation, but I don't think a lot of y'all understand how much this is affecting them in every single course that they're taking, not just the ones where they're having to write and read passages like science and math and reading courses, but it's affecting them in every aspect of their schooling.
Teresa is one of the teachers I listen to a lot on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok a lot, but whenever I see her, I like to hear her experience. I think she sounds like a very knowledgeable teacher.
I saw in my band hall with kids that did not know how to read at their grade level. So what I was noticing this past year with my students is they weren't just having those typical issues that you would have to work through. A lot of these kids would not even use alphabet symbols.
Characters.
They would be making up symbols. They would not even know
how. They know how to write A, B, C, and D.
How to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G on their piece of paper. Oh, no. They wouldn't know how to form those letters. They would also have issues not knowing alphabetical order in general. So if they knew how to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
They said it's A, B, F, G, 4, 8. Like, bruh, I think everybody in their mama have the alphabet memorized, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Like, bro, I've had that memorized in my head since I was like 3-4 years old, boy. Bro, there be YouTube videos I watched back in the day that would just talk about ABCs, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
They couldn't answer to me what letter would come after C in the alphabet. And I would ask them things like that specifically. What comes after C in the alphabet?
That's why phonics is so important. Teaching phonics, you know, the kid should at least know the ABC song. But yeah, learning the characters, learning how to say each individual character, and then blending and segmenting, they're so important. I did another video on the reading wars where we look at the two ways that reading has been taught recently.
They couldn't answer it. And I'm not just talking one or two kids in the class. I'm talking closer to 50%. And we're not also just talking about sixth graders. We're talking about sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. Kids that are about to go into high school.
Bad,
and didn't
kids
make the job
of high school not knowing their alphabet, bro. Like, it's one thing if they in second or third grade, which is still pretty bad. But it's like you going into high school where you have to learn algebra, calculus, physics, chemistry, advanced reading. You have to actually lock in for some of these classes and you don't know them. Like, that's honestly terrible, bro. Which is why, like, education is so important for society, because if people aren't educated, they don't know how to navigate life. They don't know how to treat other people. They make more errors. Because, like, here's the thing. When you're educated about history and sociology and how people work, there's a way less chance of you being racist. Because a lot of racism and prejudice against other people groups is founded off false beliefs and narratives, right? Hence why being more educated about history will dismantle the narratives or at least significantly reduce them. Same thing when it comes to math. If you want people to make better financial decisions and to not be super impulsive, a part of that definitely has to come from the own person's mind and internal belief structure. However, it also definitely comes from teaching these people about finances and credit and, you know, how to pay a mortgage, how to get a job. Like, these have to be taught in schools. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going. People are going to get out of high school, make bad decisions, get into debt, and then fuck up a massive chunk of their early adult years, my boy.
Teaching kids how to read music harder, yes, but I think the reason why I'm wanting to point this out specifically is that a lot of teachers in middle school grades or upper level grades before you get into high school aren't necessarily dealing with skills that require you to go back to those remedial basic.
So a lot of people in the comments are saying that, wow, teachers are complaining about kids not being able to read. But if you're in high school, you're about to teach a lot of high-level things. And having to go back and teach phonics and read.
You're in AP Physics and you're trying to teach these kids about thermodynamics, fluid concepts, viscosity. You're trying to teach your kids these very high-level concepts with these equations, right? And as someone who's in AP Physics, I could not imagine being in that class and not knowing how to read. Because that class is already, like, that is my hardest class. Like, bar none. Not even close. Every other class is like an easy A or high B. That class is the only class I'm failing right now, bro. Like, that is the only class where I actually got to really lock in, study the material. Every other class, there's days where I can just go in and wing it and I still get, like, A's and B's. That class, if I don't study, nigga, my grade gonna go from here to here, nigga. Fuck you talking about. But with that being said, imagine going into, like, AP Physics or Calculus and not knowing how to read. Like, that sounds like a nightmare.
Reading to students about to go to high school, that's not what you're supposed to be teaching them, and that's why it's difficult.
Yeah,
these are things.
And you also have to waste time or allocate time to teach them these basic concepts, so you miss out on teaching these guys the important stuff, and you have to condense it and then give them more homework, more practice, which gives those same students not time to actually understand those concepts. And when you mix in ChatGPT and these AI apps where you can literally take a screenshot and it'll do the work for you, a lot of students just use those. They don't actually understand the material whatsoever. So not only do they not know how to read, they're not incentivized to, because the AI is just going to do it for them.
Are supposed to be learning in kindergarten and elementary school. Now they're about to go to high school, or they're in high school, and they're not even able to do the basics such as reading and writing. So how are you supposed to go back and teach some students how to read and write and other students advanced skills? Differentiation is a thing.
You'd have to go back because some students don't know basics, and the students who do know the basics and are ready for the advanced stuff, now they're lagging behind. They're in class scrolling, bored out of their minds because they're not being taught anything.
But that's a major gap.
But in music class, we literally work with the alphabet every single day. We only work with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 letters of the alphabet. And a lot of these kids do not know the first 7 letters of their alphabet or what order they go in. So I can only imagine how they are having issues reading and writing when they can't even identify the first 7 letters of the alphabet. It is a crisis. And before you say, well, maybe you're just not teaching the concept good enough for them to understand that they need to use the alphabet. I would see a correlation most of the time between the kids that were having those issues that I discussed and the ones that could not complete a writing assignment in music class, which I did have them write things out a lot. And oftentimes the same kids that could not identify their alphabet or write things in alphabetical order also could not write.
Yeah, most things in this universe, if not all things, have some type of correlation, right? If I was to look at my notes that I was taking yesterday, right? You know, your boy be taking notes and all that. Let me see. Number 6, the principles of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by chance, and everything is interconnected through a chain of causality. Essentially, niggas can't read, so they can't do writing assignments. And since they're not being taught these important, crucial aspects of growing up and these important skills, they're gonna keep failing these assignments. It's you know what I'm saying, it's a cause and effect. You can't read or write, you're gonna keep failing writing assignments. It is what it is, bro.
Passages on their own that were legible and readable.
I know all last week, all over social media, you saw nothing but teachers talking about how elementary and middle school kids are reading 4 years below grade level.
4?
High school.
5? Nigga, 4? I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So that means a nigga in his 12th grade year would be reading like he's a freshman. There's no way that's true. That can't be, boy. That's why. If that's true, I ain't gonna lie, that's bad, bro. That's nigga. So an 8th grader's reading like he's what? 7. He's reading like a 4th. Oh shit. Oh nah. No, if he's supposed to be at 8th grade reading level, that's 7, 6, 5. That's like what? 4 years. Like if we're talking like the actual grade itself, like let's say you're 8th grade and you need to be at an 8th grade level, but you're 7th, 6th, 5th. Oh my god, he's reading like a 5th grader. Oh, that's bad. That's terrible.
Teacher, I'm here to inform you that high school kids are doing way worse. They are reading 6 years below grade level. The only difference is a whole heap of these kids are going to graduate at the end of this school year, and we are expecting them to go to college and obtain jobs when they cannot even comprehend basic skills.
Nigga, they attributes is low as fuck. Oh, nigga, bro, you just spawned in 55 overall brown shirt with hell no.
The problem with employers finding employees.
So a lot of people say it's because of COVID that those couple of years.
100% COVID definitely played a part. Niggas was in the crib all day from February of like 2020 to like I think it was August of 2021 when the lockdowns officially ended here in the West, bro. Niggas were in the crib all day, not getting sunlight, not talking to people, scrolling on Reels, TikTok, Shorts, Reddit, Snapchat, watching TV all day, not exercising, bro. Niggas came out the pandemic genuinely mentally handicapped. And keep in mind, a lot of these people who are in high school now were in the middle school back then. I was a 6th grader when the pandemic struck. And I know it definitely affected me. Like, it affected my social skills to where I was awkward around people. I didn't really know how to converse with other individuals. It affected me until I got to, like, what? I'd say I got out of my social cell around my 10th. I believe it was my 10th grade year. Like the middle of my 10th grade year where I fully was comfortable talking to people. But that's a lot of time, bro. That's a good amount of time. So imagine someone who's going through all that, scrolling, Reels, TikTok. They're frying their brain. They're frying their shit. They're not learning skills. They spent a whole year and a half fucking around in a crucial developmental phase in their lives. And now they're going back to school. They're still on their phone. They're still scrolling, doing this, da-da-da-da-da. They're reaping the effects of that, cause and effect. You know the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it? It's the same thing. You don't use your brain, you're going to get dumber. That's just how it goes, my boy.
Held the students back and they missed out on a lot of schooling. But the truth is, you're going to want to look at parents. Most parents are supposed to read to their kids, especially when they're young.
You're supposed to. As a parent, I'm doing that. Even if I have, like, bro, I have little cousins, you know what I'm saying, who like 3 or 4 years old. I read to them. Like, I don't even do baby talk. I talk like I normally do. I just don't say as many verbiage, bad words as I do when I'm recording these videos. But my point still stands. If you are a parent and you're not reading to your kid, you're doing them a disservice. Because at that age, they take in info very quickly. Their brain is like a sponge. They soak in info and events very quickly. Well, hence why it's easier to learn a language when you're 4 years old versus when you're 16. Because your neurological pathways are way hardened when you're 16, making it harder to learn new skills. However, you have to teach these kids how to read, my nigga, how to write. How are you going to get a job when you can't read or write?
Yeah, we can say it's because of COVID, or we can give many excuses. But really, this should come down to parents. And then, what happened to these kids when they were in elementary school? Why didn't they read then? It's crazy.
There are literally high school kids reading on a 3rd grade reading level. And still, states are expecting teachers to prepare kids and have them pass state tests are on or above grade level. Work, see, the issue is schools have...
That's like you going to a level 30 dungeon and you're like level 6, my nigga. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
It down for kids. They have made it so easy that kids believe that their only job is to show up and behave, and that should be enough to get a passing grade and to go on to the next grade level. We have a real issue here, and please do not talk to me about graduation rates.
Some of them graduation rates, they just let any nigga, hey, you know that meme? It's like they just let anybody on the team. That's how it be with these guys, bro. A nigga could have 56 absences, nigga failing 4 classes, nigga 0.2 GPA. They let that nigga pass. Go on. They just let anybody on the team, bro. Let anybody pass. They don't. Bro, I seen one shit on a Blue Rock video where a nigga dead ass like, bro, hold on. I should find it. not let bro grad. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, bro. Do not let bro graduate. Hold on. I should be able to find this shit, but they dead ass be letting any nigga just graduate. Fucking insane. Like, they really. I seen a nigga with a .2 GPA just drop out, nigga. Actually, don't listen to me on that. Do not drop out. You need to finish schooling. You need as many reps as you can get. .2 GPA? How do you get those? How do you accomplish a .2 GPA, my nigga? Yo, you're not getting those type of offers, bro. You better start a YouTube channel, be funny. You better start working 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got 2, phone, one for the plug, one for the, but you start doing, you know what I'm saying, get on your hustle. Because your ass ain't getting no offers, nigga. Yo, shit, no internships, nigga. You better redo high school, you know what I'm saying? Get the time stone, go back and lock in, bro. That shit sad. I ain't gonna lie, that shit
because
terrible.
Bugs Bunny could graduate in this era, make it make sense.
Yeah, so that's very true. As teachers, you know, you've got these problem students in your class and you're just like, man, I need to push them out. In many countries, you're supposed to keep the students in, no child left behind. So the students are basically being pushed through to the next grade. Remember when you were at school, you were so afraid of failing, you know, because a few students would fail and they would be held back.
I just don't like seeing bad grades on my report card. Like, that's some self-motivation, bro. I just don't like seeing that shit. I'm very, nigga, I like to push myself. And when I see them bad grades, even if it's just a 1 class, keep in mind, this is AP Physics. Everyone in their mama struggles in that class, bro. Like, all the kids that are, can you consider smart or have high grades be struggling in that class. Right? That's it's like the hardest and or second hardest class in the school. Nigga, I don't care. I'm pushing my, we getting that A, nigga. We getting them grades, boy. What you talking about? We don't use excuses, nigga. We take action.
It's so embarrassing. Nobody wanted to feel that shame. Now students are just being pushed through so that they're the next grade's problem. And I think that has to stop.
It also doesn't help that a lot of teachers aren't getting enough pay for the work that they're doing. And a lot of teachers are leaving school. So now the teachers who are still in the schools, guess what? They're having to deal with more students. They're going to have to deal with more work. They're going to have to do more effort. And they're still not getting paid or compensated for that amount of work they're doing. So now they're more likely to leave and then pass on to the next. It's a whole cycle of just pain. Like, no Nagato, you feel me? Like, it's just teachers aren't being incentivized to teach. So they're not going to teach as hard. They're not going to teach as well. And they're going to push students on because they're like, I don't get paid enough for this. So I'm going to just push you on to the next person. Let it be their problem. And since the students are being pushed on and not being taught what they need to be taught, and parents a lot of time aren't also doing their job. They're not reading to the kids. They're not checking their grades. They're not punishing kids for doing bad in school, or at least incentivizing them to do better. Guess what? Students aren't getting motivated at all. They're not trying in school. They said, screw it. You know what I'm saying? Chat, GPT, Grammarly, everything. You can't do that. You can't just rely on AI apps all day, every day. You have to actually know how to do it yourself. Like, I understand schools, especially if you're in honors and AP classes, give a lot of busy work, just to keep you busy. But you still need to know how to do it, even if you don't want to. So that way, when the actual test and exam comes up, you don't just get like a 32 on that bit. You feel me?
Levels for a reason, and if we just continue to push students through, they're never going to learn. I think that's something very important that should be discussed.
Spell philosophy, ain't no way, bro. You
Spell
16,
philosophy.
he's 17. Y'all
Yeah,
juniors
nice,
and seniors in
man.
high school, man. Spell it. Ain't no way.
What they say?
And that should be discussed.
Spell philosophy, ain't no way, bro. You
Spell
16.
velocity, easy. VELOCITY, nigga. Velocity, that's easy.
He's 17. Y'all
Yeah,
juniors
nice,
and seniors in
man.
high school, man. Spell it. Ain't no way. We erase the board. We don't
philosophy.
forget about the other stuff. I'm gonna give y'all another chance. Spell philosophy.
The truth is, not every child gets the chance to go to the movies.
Yeah, but I feel like texting could also be a reason why kids don't know how to spell. Cause you're just using abbreviations and you got autocorrect doing all the work for you. That could definitely play that as well.
Penmanship is so important too. What?
Keep going.
Nigga, dead ass spell.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see. Come on. Spell philosophy.
Yeah, lives matter.
Yeah. Man. Damn face. Come on. Get out the way. Let me see what y'all spell. Come on. All right.
That's about it.
So that's. Oh, y'all ain't done. Philosophy. That's our final word. Philosophy. Huh? Spell cute. I'm gonna give you something simple. I ain't even gonna say no cute. That's a fourth grade word, dog.
Nigga, cute. Nigga, C-U-T-E, nigga.
Spell cute. Spell it.
That's so close. Cute.
Oh shoot! Oh, hey, nah, boy. Heck no, boy, on baby. He put it with a Q.
That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no. I don't know what school you going to when you graduate. I don't know what you going to.
Bro, he said this one. He said I'm pretty sure he's 16, he's 17, bro. I don't know what school they going to. I don't know what education. I don't know what teacher they going to. But they need to lock in, bro. They need to pick up some books. Go to chemistry, math tutor, Heimler history, nigga, Khan Academy, bro. They better, you know what I'm saying, get to locking in on these, boy. Take some notes. Me and that bit, you know what I'm saying, studying hard, boy, because that shit is terrible, my nigga. Nigga, he spelled cute with a Q. What type of Patrick Star ass shit? Yo, nah, bro. Keep his ass in them grades. Keep his ass in high school, bro. We need to keep you in that hyperbolic time chamber till you actually know what you're doing, bro. Because ain't no way. You are not allowed to leave, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all going back in grade. Well, you going back to the 9th, 7th, 5th, 6th. You going backwards. Spell two. It's 3 different ways you can spell two. It's 3 different ways.
Two. It's T-W-O. That's the number 2. You got T-O, like you're going to the area. And then T-O-O, that's like you too much, doing too much. It's emphasis.
For the first 2.
Every class is spelling test.
Spell 2.
Bro, if these niggas definitely don't know the difference between there, and there, money.
Maybe once a week.
Just go, bro. Ain't no way. Philosophy 2, 22, cute. And y'all think y'all spelled this stuff right?
Did you know that in 2022, 67% of 4th graders scored below a proficiency level in reading? There are so many kids out there that are being passed along in the system that cannot read. Reading is a part of everyday life. And the fact that we are failing these children says a lot about America's educational system. We are worried about the wrong things right now. We are focused on the wrong things right now. At this point, this is not solely a teacher problem. Parents need to take accountability. They need to help their kids. We are doing what we can with the time that we are given. So many people underestimate all of the things that teachers have to do. Yes, of course our job is to help your students. And
teachers have a lot. That's what I said. I can't just blame teachers because they have a lot on their plate. Like, they got more food and more things to carry on their plate than Rod Wave, my nigga. Than Bubble Bass. Like, you have a lot to actually, you know what I'm saying, compromise. You feel me?
Do that. By the end of 3rd grade, I'm no longer teaching those basic phonics skills. That's where you have to step in as a parent. Advocate for your kid. There are so many parents that don't know what they're capable of doing.
Oh God, nigga, Khan Academy, nigga, Kumon, all that, bro, all that, boy.
Inform yourself. You have so many resources available to you.
School kids are not reading. Kids are not reading. Kids cannot read. It doesn't matter if your child's at an A school or if your child's at a D school or if your child's at a charter school or a private school. I have seen kids at all areas. They all struggle. They all struggle because they don't have exposure and they don't have consistency. We can blame the Department of Education. We can blame the literacy rates been at an all-time high. We can blame the schools, the teachers, but education teacher of 4 years, I specifically teach kids with learning disabilities how to read and to read accurately. We're not talking about teaching kids to read with special education disabilities. We're talking about teaching kids to read that have not had that exposure and that just cannot read, and no environmental factors included. Exposure and consistency. These 2 things are most important when reading, and these kids are not exposed to reading at a young age, and they do not have consistent reading, whether that's at school, at home. They don't have enough exposure of reading in general. The perception of teaching kids to read is it is the teacher's job to teach their children to read. It's
definitely the parents more than the teachers. Like, yeah, teachers You definitely should, in some way, help make sure the kids know how to read. But as a parent, it's your job to expose them to reading at the early ages. Like, the moment, bro, that little nigga gonna be crawling, bro. Like, my kid, he gonna come out the womb. We gonna be holding him. I'm gonna already have the book, nigga. I'm gonna be reading that nigga. I'm gonna be reading all the notes, bro. I'm setting that nigga up from a young age to be intelligent, bro. My kid's gonna be so cold, bro. Oh my, bro, I can't wait to have my kids is gonna be the coldest motherfuckers. Bro, my kid, bro, my kid's gonna be so dripped out, saucy, bro, my kids, bro, the lineage gonna go crazy. I ain't gonna lie, like.
School's job to teach their children to read. Have you been in a public education classroom recently? Teacher to student ratio makes it nearly impossible to differentiate all different reading levels consistently. And I'm talking every single day for targeted reading instruction. You can have the most experienced and most knowledgeable reading expert teaching your child. If you are not doing it consistently, and I mean at least 4 times a week, 15 to 20 minutes a session, it's not going to be effective. If you have elementary school kids that are reading at grade level or even below grade level, get them a tutor. Get them extra support to give them those skills to have them be successful with reading.
Definitely.
Reading is not meant to be natural, but you need consistency, exposure, and somebody that is qualified and knows the science of reading for it to be successful for any child in a short amount of time.
I wanted to just spend a moment and tell people why I left the system. You know, I'm a former English teacher. Oh my God. And a lot of my videos when I first started on TikTok talked about the school system and what was happening in the school system. So I made a decision to retire. It hurt me and it pained me to go into my classroom, present a book or present a text, and my kids didn't know the first thing about reading comprehension. My kids did not know the first thing about a literary discussion. So I couldn't have a content-specific conversation with my kids because my kids didn't know content-specific vocabulary. And if you don't know the vocabulary attached to English, just like if you don't know it attached to math, you're not going to do well in that subject. So I left literally in tears because I knew that I was seeing the failing of the school system in the United States of America, because I knew going forward unless something happens, I would never be able to enjoy a literary conversation with my students because my students could not read. I was teaching kids that were 3 to 4 grade levels behind. None of them understood what I was saying. And this is every school. This is not just one school. This is every school that I worked at.
Yeah, you know, it's okay if there's a student that's a little bit behind.
No, it's one thing. No, it's normal for some students to be behind because, like I said, education is standardized, right? Some students are going to be behind or just not understand the concepts fully because people learn in different ways at different speeds, right? But that's not the same as a whole class being 3 to 4 grade. That first scenario, some students are a little behind. They may need a little bit of help or extra experience. That's normal, right? Second, where there's kids who are 3 to 4 grades behind and it's almost all of them, that's not normal. That is a problem. And not like a small problem, that's a massive problem.
3 or 4 grade levels, you know, they're not going to be able to keep up with what they have to learn. So I can see why it's frustrating to teachers.
So for me to even be in a school system that perpetrated and fronted and pretended like, oh, well, you know, our kids are smart. No, they're not. They are smart, but they're not literary smart. And I think that that's what the part that hurt me the most. Or unless we got rid of these state standardized assessments, they don't allow teachers to teach, but we only teach to the test, and that's why.
Well, I don't agree with quitting because the students can't read. I mean, in this case, I'm going to say that your teacher, you're supposed to be helping these students. So if there's a major problem like that, you've got to address it. If I were to quit, it wouldn't be because there's a problem with my students with regards to what they have to learn. I would cite another reason, but to say specifically because students can't read,
fuck them kids.
A language arts teacher is considering quitting her job because her 10th grade students don't know how.
That's making it worse because teachers are quitting because they don't know how to read. So the next teacher is gonna have to put in even more work. So this cycle is just going to keep continuing until something changes. Like I said, as a society, if you're not funding your schools, you're actively hoeing your own nation. You need to fund schools, give them education, make sure that teachers are getting money so they're more incentivized to teach, man. No bullshit.
how to read. The New Jersey-based teacher shared in her Reddit post that the last couple of years have been very stressful, but the straw that broke the camel's back was realizing that her 10th grade students couldn't read at grade level. In fact, they could barely read at all. They were reading 2nd and 3rd grade level books like Charlotte's Web and Bridge to Terabithia. She turned to other teachers at her school for advice, but it turns out they were dealing with the same thing. Teacher said, "I'm at a loss." Parents are mad that their kids are failing, but there's not much she can do, especially when it comes to
not
students.
Not much you can do as a teacher to get niggas who are, what, 16, 17 to be able to read. Like, there's not much you can do, bro.
Behavior. We're to a point where the entire education system in the U.S. needs to be revamped in order for teachers and students to succeed. The kids are getting lost in the mix and teachers suffer the collateral damage.
Yeah,
it may seem like options
just cancel school for like 2 months, revamp that shit. I'll get time off. I'm good. I'm at the level where I need to be when it comes to reading and analysis. Hey, I'm gonna keep getting better, but I'm on a good level. So just cancel it for your boy, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me go crazy.
We're limited for parents in our current system, but parents can get involved. Vote in school board elections, get involved in state government, and join the PTA. And most importantly, do whatever you can to advocate for your kids and support your teachers. For years, other countries have been outperforming the U.S. education system. Author and parenting expert John Fogel said on TikTok that school in the United States is not set up with kids in mind. The country with the global reputation for having the best education model is Finland, and it's because they put their kids first. They don't teach to tests. Teachers are given carte blanche to actually teach. Not only that, there's no homework, the school day is shorter, and there are more breaks during the day.
So high schoolers can't read, and there's a lot of fixing that is necessary to help teachers help these students.
When we see scores that 70% of 8th graders can't read at grade level and read proficiently, and that actually, when you go into high school, you see that same percentage. And do you know there was a graduate in Hartford, Connecticut. She graduated valedictorian of her class. She sued her school because she couldn't read, but yet she was valedictorian.
I'll make another video about that.
It's unbelievable. Because
that's an incredible thing.
Because they get money for just matriculating the students. They don't care if they're actually learning.
One of the greatest issues we have with our students is attention. You know, with all this brain rot content out there, the students lack
of attention. It doesn't matter how high your IQ is. If you can't focus or pay attention to anything, that's not just for school, that's for anything in life. You're not going to succeed.
Focus. And I think that's one of the great things about reading, is that you can sit for hours and take in information. You're learning as you're reading. You're also learning how to focus on something. You know, cut out everything else that's going on and just focus on reading.
That's why I be meditating,
but now
bro.
Everything has to be quick and over, and so that's another reason why reading is so important for our students. You know, and school is the place where they're supposed to be doing all their reading. You know, kids are our future, and we've got to invest in our schools.
And niggas is not putting in the money, bro. That's the problem. Like, kids are the future of the next generation, and when you're hoeing them by stacking up prices, not teaching how to read, what do you think the future is going to look like in 20 to 30 years, my boy? This is crazy, but hey, this was a good video, man. And with that being said, it's your boy Jay. Hey, let me know if y'all want more school videos, because I think these might be like some of my best ones to react to, my favorites. But with that being said, let me know what y'all think in the comments. And with that being said, stay healthy, stay wealthy, stay blessed. It's your boy Jay, and I'm out.